everybody, Kimberly Crawford here for My Favorite Things Stamps, and today I want to show you how to create a really great background using texture Lux from Design Memory Craft. And let me tell you a little bit about where this card started. It actually started with these beautiful butterflies, the new set of dies from My Favorite Things, Flutter of Butterflies, and this is the solid set. And I wanted to showcase these flowers, and instead of stamping or inking a great background, I thought, oh, I should take out some of this gorgeous texture Lux that I have and use that. And you can see that it made an absolutely beautiful background for my butterflies to pop off on, and then it has this beautiful gold shine that I just absolutely love the look of. And I want to show you how easy this is to do. So let's grab some paper, and I am using some watercolor paper here. The reason I'm using this is I want it to hold up to some of the wetness that is this texture paste that we're going to use. And so I feel like this versus a piece of cardstock is just going to hold up a little bit better. So I've trimmed my panel down, and then instead of the toothed bumpy edge side, I'm actually going to switch over to the smooth side and use that. And I'm going to use my Texture Lux here. Texture Lux is a pigmented embossing paste, and these are beautiful and creamy. And I have the gold, and I have pearl, and there's also silver. These are really great. So you're going to open the jar, and you're going to see how bright that is. And I'm going to use a little palette knife, and I'm going to apply this directly to my paper. So I'm going to take a little bit out and put it on my knife and spread it out on my paper. It's kind of like spreading frosting, or maybe regular peanut butter might be a better description of how this goes on. And it doesn't take very much to spread. It's very smooth and creamy. So I'm just going to work this around. And this is a little bit of mixed media. This doesn't have to be perfect, which is good for me because I try to be a little too perfect sometimes. So there, I've got this nice even coat. And what I'm going to do is, I don't want to waste any of this, so I'm actually going to make sure that I scrape this back into the jar. When you are done with your tool, make sure that you have something wet to clean it off with. You don't want to leave this stuff sitting on your tools, to make sure that you wipe that right away. Now, this is a really great background all by itself, but I wanted to add a little bit more interest. So what I took was, I took these texture cards. These feel like little credit cards from Design Memory Craft, meant to be used with their products. They create all sorts of different textures in your paste when you run them over the paste. And I kind of liked this round, smooth one, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to run that just right up into my paste. So I'm just going to move it. And there we go. And now I've created this really great pattern within this. Scrape the extra off and get it back in your jar, and make sure that you wipe that tool off, wipe this piece of plastic off, and get it cleaned off right away. If for some reason you don't like the way that this pattern turned out, or this movement turned out, the great part about this is when it's still wet, you can pull your palette knife back through it and spread it out. And if you need to, you can even go back, grab a little bit more, and fill in those spots and kind of clean it up and go ahead and try it again. So that's kind of the fun part about this, is you can putz and play and really achieve the look that you are looking for. Now, this paste will take a little while to dry, so you can ride it out and wait for it to dry. You could speed it up a little bit with your heat gun. If you speed it up with your heat gun a little bit, sometimes it can get kind of a cracked look to it almost, which looks kind of cool to me, but that's just a preference. So once this dries, you're going to be able to use it like I did and add some sentiments and some beautiful die cut images. You can see the paper is kind of curled, and that's going to happen because of the wetness. And one more thing that I want to point out as you're doing this, because I want you to try this and have happy results, is on the back of my panel, once it was dry, I used some of this crafty foam tape. And when I have things that are wet, I use this crafty foam tape, and I will run a piece along the top edge, and sometimes a couple in the middle and in the bottom. And by running this foam tape along it, it really gives it a nice more flat look, as you can see on my card here. You could also use any kind of super strong adhesive, Score Pal tape, red line tape, any of those would also help. So just keep that in mind when you are adhering your gorgeous textured background to your project. So have fun creating with Texture Lux and making a beautiful background.